Good afternoon. Weather Impact meteorologist Gary Frank with an update. When we look back at July, now that we're in the month of August, what can we expect? Well, we can expect our temperature to eventually go down, but we know August is a hot month. July, it's supposed to be our hottest month statistically. There weren't too many days that really stood out that were incredibly hot, large in part due to the fact that it rained, and also look at all these below normal temperature days. Low 70s that stretched from the 18th to the 22nd. It was below average. It was less humid. Did not feel like July. Then the end of the month did because it was nice and humid. And that's what I want to point out here. When we talk about by the numbers, yeah, it was on the wet side. So when we're talking about our warmest temperature, we got to 98. We were seeing July 15th. The coolest, it's 61 degrees, right? So when you're talking about temperatures that stay just below average, it's not all that bad. Now, our precipitation-wise, we're around 8 inches of rain. That was about our 6th wettest July on record. So pretty significant here. As we look at our average temperature, it's pretty close to 80. That's pretty close to average by, 0.2 or so of a degree. Now, our low temps today, look at the 60s to the north. That's where that front's going to come through at some point, but still, mid-70s, more humidity. That has stuck with us throughout. And as we look at what's going on over the next several hours, you'll notice that it's still pretty hot. As far as a severe threat, look at this. This is green. It's all kind of in here, but I'm going to pull this out for you so you can see. We've kind of been pulled out of the slight risk for severe weather, and most of us are just in this marginal risk, but really a lot of that has to do with the position of this front. And as we see that move through, as long as it's around, we have the heat and humidity that's available to us. It's not out of the question that one of those storms that pops up may be on the stronger side. However, I don't think that's really indicative of what we're going to see. With our current temperatures in the low 90s, you can see that it's much cooler in Florida, Salem, areas that had even a tornado warning earlier and some wind damage. Now, our current temperatures area-wide that feel like they're in the low to mid 100s. So that humidity still feels pretty significant in many cases, and it will only get better. Let's look at the storm that progressed and moved through. You can see how that worked its way through by about 12:30, 1 o'clock. That's why it's still cloudy and cooler over there. But as we look ahead to this front that's going to eventually work its way out of here, that's going to bring us some relief into the overnight hours. Now, until it does, we can't rule out the possibility of a few pop-up showers and storms that will be around from really St. Louis south. I don't think they're going to cause a huge issue, but it's still very humid. Dew points in the low to mid 70s, and our dew point trend over the next few days go from the low to mid 70s all the way to the 60s, and that is going to make a huge difference as we continue to see that heat build once again. That will build by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as we're close to 100 degrees. And then it gets cooler just a little bit as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, but still drying out pretty nicely.